Welcome back to our channel Rare Coins All World, coin enthusiasts. Today, we have a truly exciting topic for all of you who are passionate about rare coins. We're diving into the world of the 1989 United States 5-cent coin, or as most of us know it, the 1989 nickel. At first glance, this might seem like just another everyday coin, but believe me when I tell you, there's more to it than meets the eye. The 1989 nickel holds some surprises that can make it worth far more than its face value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting your journey into the world of numismatics, you'll want to stick around for this one. So let's take a deeper look at this often overlooked coin and see what makes it so special. The United States 5-cent coin, or nickel, has been a staple of American currency for over a century. The 1989 nickel, in particular, was minted during the final years of the 20th century, a time when the U.S. economy was experiencing a period of significant change. From technological advancements to shifts in political power, the 1989 nickel is more than just a coin, it's a small piece of history. The design on the nickel, which has remained relatively unchanged for many years, features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. The reverse side showcases an image of Jefferson's home, Monticello, symbolizing his legacy as both a founding father and a key figure in American history. Now, you may be wondering, what's so special about this 1989 nickel? After all, it's just a typical coin that circulated widely in the late 80s, right? Well, not exactly. While many 1989 nickels were used in everyday transactions, some of them are incredibly rare, and there are certain features that make them stand out to collectors. Let's start with the mint mark. Every U.S. coin produced has a mint mark that tells you where it was made. In the case of the 1989 nickel, there are two mint marks you might find, either the P mint mark for the Philadelphia Mint or the D mint mark for the Denver Mint. The mint mark plays a critical role in determining a coin's rarity and value. While the Denver Mint produced a larger number of these coins, it's the Philadelphia version that tends to be more scarce. So, if you find a 1989 nickel with the P mint mark, you might just be holding onto something rare, but the mint mark is just the beginning. To truly understand the value of a 1989 nickel, you have to look at its condition. Coins that have been heavily circulated are typically worn down from years of handling, which can significantly lower their value. However, nickels that have been kept in pristine condition, free from scratches, discoloration, and other signs of wear, are far more desirable to collectors. These coins are often referred to as uncirculated or mint state, and they can fetch a much higher price than those that show significant signs of use. Now, let's talk about a key factor that could drastically increase the value of your 1989 nickel: errors. Minting errors are not as uncommon as you might think, and in fact, they can make a coin extraordinarily valuable. The 1989 nickel is no exception. Certain 1989 nickels have been discovered with rare minting errors, such as double dies or misstrikes. A double die occurs when the design is stamped onto the coin more than once, causing a blurry or overlapping image. If you're lucky enough to find a 1989 nickel with a double die or some other minting flaw, you could be holding onto a one-of-a-kind coin that's worth much more than you originally thought. But perhaps the most exciting aspect of the 1989 nickel is its connection to American numismatic history. Although it's not the rarest coin in the world, the 1989 nickel has become a sought-after piece among collectors who specialize in modern U.S. coins. Many collectors are particularly drawn to coins from the late 20th century, as these coins represent a bridge between older, more traditional designs and the modern coins we use today. The 1989 nickel, with its relatively recent production and the historical significance of Thomas Jefferson's legacy, is a prime example of how numismatics can offer a unique perspective on American history. So, now we come to the big question: how much is the 1989 nickel worth? While most 1989 nickels are worth their face value of 5 cents, certain rarities can fetch far higher prices. Coins that are in mint condition or have been struck with rare errors can command prices in the thousands of dollars. If you happen to have a 1989 nickel in pristine condition, especially one with a rare error or unique feature, you could be looking at a significant windfall. Some of the most valuable 1989 nickels have sold for as much as $71,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single 1989 nickel could be worth an astounding $71,000 if it's in exceptional condition or features a rare minting error. Now, don't get too discouraged if your 1989 nickel doesn't seem like it's worth much at first glance. Many factors influence the value of a coin, including its rarity, condition, and the presence of any minting errors. The best thing you can do if you think you have a valuable 1989 nickel is to have it professionally graded by a reputable numismatic organization. Professional grading will give you an accurate assessment of the coin's quality and its potential value in the marketplace. In conclusion, the 1989 United States 5-cent coin may seem like just another nickel, but with the right condition, mint mark, and possibly even a minting error, it could be worth much more than you ever imagined. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a casual coin enthusiast, keep your eyes peeled for that elusive 1989 nickel. It could very well be worth a small fortune. Who knows, you might just have a nickel worth $71,000 hidden away in your collection. Today's video is one you won't want to miss. We're diving into a fascinating coin that's been flying under the radar for many collectors, but it's quickly becoming a must-have: the 2003 United States 5-cent coin, also known as the nickel. At first glance, it might look like just another modern-day nickel, but trust me, there's more to it than meets the eye. Stick around because by the end of this video, you might just find out that the nickel in your pocket could be worth a small fortune. Let's start by taking a closer look at the 2003 nickel. This coin is part of the famous Jefferson Nickels series, which has been in circulation since 1938. If you're familiar with the design, you'll know that it features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, on the obverse side. Jefferson has been a symbol of the nation's ideals of liberty and democracy for centuries, so it's no surprise that his image is featured on one of the most widely circulated coins in the U.S. On the reverse side, you'll find an image of Jefferson's estate, Monticello, which serves as a lasting tribute to his legacy. But here's the thing: while the 2003 nickel is part of this iconic design, there's more to it than just the design itself. When we look closer, we see how certain features and conditions can drastically affect the value of the coin. This is where things start to get interesting. Point one: of the main factors that makes the 2003 nickel particularly valuable is its minting. Like all U.S. coins, the 2003 nickel was minted at multiple locations, and the mint mark plays a huge role in determining rarity. If you take a look at the reverse side of the coin, you'll notice a small letter near the bottom. This letter is the mint mark. It tells you where the coin was produced. For the 2003 nickel, you'll find either the P mint mark, which stands for the Philadelphia Mint, or the D mint mark, which indicates the Denver Mint. You might be thinking that this isn't a big deal since both mint marks are relatively common, but here's the catch: some years, certain mint marks are more scarce than others. In 2003, the Denver Mint produced a higher number of these coins, while the Philadelphia Mint produced a much smaller batch. So, if you happen to stumble upon a 2003 nickel with the P mint mark, you could be holding onto a coin that's far rarer than its Denver counterpart. However, rarity alone isn't enough to make a coin valuable. The condition of the coin plays an even more important role. A heavily circulated coin, one that's been tossed around in change for years, won't have much value. But a coin that's been carefully preserved, free from scratches, discoloration, or other forms of wear, can be worth significantly more. This is where collectors really start to pay attention, because finding a 2003 nickel in mint condition is increasingly difficult. Most of them are found in average, worn-out condition, but if you find one in pristine, uncirculated form, you could be looking at something very special. But wait, there's more. One of the most exciting aspects of the 2003 nickel is the potential for minting errors. As you may already know, minting errors are what really send the value of a coin skyrocketing. Sometimes, coins aren't struck properly during the minting process, and these mistakes are what collectors are willing to pay top dollar for. A 2003 nickel with a double die error or a misstrike can be worth a significant amount of money. These errors create unique variations of the coin that cannot be replicated, and they are highly sought after in the numismatic community. Imagine you come across a 2003 nickel that's perfectly struck but with a double die error on the obverse side, making Jefferson's portrait appear doubled or blurred. This is a minting flaw that can make your coin much more valuable than the average nickel. Similarly, if the coin was misstruck, creating some unique feature or anomaly, its value could be even higher. Now, you might be wondering how much your 2003 nickel could really be worth. While most 2003 nickels are worth just 5 cents, the value can increase exponentially if you have a rare, uncirculated coin or one with a minting error. Coins in perfect condition have sold for hundreds of dollars in some cases, but the real prize comes when you stumble upon a coin with an error or a rare mint mark. So, how much could you potentially get for a 2003 nickel that's in near perfect condition or has a minting error? Well, the value can skyrocket, with some of the most valuable 2003 nickels being worth a whopping $56,000. Yes, you heard me right. If you have a 2003 nickel with a rare mint mark, in mint condition, or even with an error, you could be sitting on a coin worth $56,000, imagine that. A single nickel that's been sitting in your pocket or a jar for years could suddenly be worth a small fortune. So, next time you dig through your spare change, don't just toss aside those old coins, take a closer look. You might have a hidden treasure on your hands. If you think you might have one of these rare 2003 nickels, I highly recommend getting it professionally graded. Professional graders can assess its quality, rarity, and potential value, helping you make sure you're not missing out on a big opportunity. In conclusion, the 2003 U.S. 5-cent coin may seem like just another nickel, but as we've learned today, it has the potential to be far more valuable than its face value. With the right mint mark, a pristine condition, and the possibility of a minting error, the 2003 nickel could be worth a staggering $56,000. So, don't overlook those small coins in your collection or change jar. You might just have a rare and valuable piece of history in your hands. Today, we're diving into something that might just surprise you: the 1986 United States 5-cent coin, or the nickel. At first glance, this may look like just another regular nickel, but there's so much more to it than meets the eye. Stick around because by the end of this video, you might realize that this seemingly ordinary coin could be worth a fortune. Let's take a closer look at the 1986 5-cent coin. This nickel is part of the famous Jefferson Nickels series, which has been around since 1938. The obverse side of the coin features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. He's a central figure in American history, and his likeness has graced this coin for decades. Jefferson's image is accompanied by the words, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty," as well as the year of minting, which in this case is 1986. On the reverse side, you'll find an image of Jefferson's historic home, Monticello. This structure is not just an important piece of architecture but also a representation of Jefferson's legacy as one of America's founding fathers. It's a coin that truly reflects the history and ideals of the nation. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds pretty standard for a nickel, right? Well, that's where things get interesting. While most 1986 nickels are not worth much more than their face value, certain factors can significantly increase their value. These factors include the mint mark, the condition of the coin, and whether there are any rare minting errors. First, let's talk about the mint mark. As with all U.S. coins, the mint mark indicates where the coin was produced. For the 1986 nickel, you'll either find the P mint mark, indicating it was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, or the D mint mark, indicating it was produced at the Denver Mint. Now, here's the catch: while both mint marks are fairly common, the rarity of the coin can vary depending on the number of coins minted at each location in that year. In 1986, the Denver Mint produced a larger number of nickels compared to the Philadelphia Mint, which means that if you have a 1986 nickel with the P mint mark, it's relatively rarer than its D counterpart. But rarity alone isn't enough to make a coin valuable. The condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its worth. A coin that's been circulated heavily, with visible wear and scratches, will naturally be worth much less than a coin in excellent condition. The more pristine the coin is, the higher its potential value. If you have a 1986 nickel that's been well preserved, kept in a safe place away from wear and tear, you're in luck because that coin could be worth significantly more than its face value. But here's where things get really exciting: minting errors. Minting errors are one of the primary reasons that a coin can increase in value, and the 1986 nickel is no exception. Sometimes, during the minting process, mistakes happen. These errors create coins that are completely unique, and collectors go crazy for them. For example, a double die error, where the design is imprinted twice on the coin, can make a coin much more valuable. Or, perhaps a misaligned die caused the coin to be struck incorrectly, creating a coin with unusual features that make it stand out from others. These minting errors can turn an ordinary nickel into a rare and valuable collectible. So, what does all of this mean for the value of the 1986 5-cent coin? Well, the value of most 1986 nickels is fairly modest, usually just a few cents over face value. However, if you happen to have a 1986 nickel in uncirculated condition, especially one with a P mint mark, it could be worth several dollars. But the real prize comes if you find a 1986 nickel with a rare minting error. Coins with minting errors can see their value increase by hundreds of dollars, and in some cases, even more. Here's the real kicker: if you have a flawless 1986 nickel in pristine condition, or perhaps a rare one with a minting error that collectors covet, you could be sitting on a gold mine. The value of such a coin could be a staggering $54,000, yes, you heard that right, $54,000 for a single 1986 nickel. That's the incredible potential of this coin if you find it in the right condition or with the right rare error. It's a reminder that sometimes the value of something as small as a nickel can far exceed what you'd expect. So, before you toss your change into a jar or forget about those old coins lying around, take a moment to check them out. You never know, the 1986 nickel you have could be the one that changes your life. Now, how do you find out if your coin is worth this kind of money? It's simple: get your coin graded by a professional. Grading services can assess the condition of your coin and give you an accurate idea of its value. They'll also be able to tell you if your coin has any minting errors or other features that could increase its worth. So, the next time you're flipping through a pile of old coins or searching for a little treasure in your change, keep an eye out for the 1986 5-cent coin. You could just be holding onto a small fortune. Remember, it's not just about what the coin looks like at first glance, but the rarity, condition, and potential minting errors that really determine its value. Today, we're diving into a fascinating find: the 1994 United States 5-cent coin, commonly known as the nickel. You might be surprised to learn that this seemingly ordinary nickel could be worth much more than its face value. Stick around as we reveal the incredible potential value of this coin and why it's worth paying close attention to your spare change. Let's start by taking a look at the basics of the 1994 nickel. The design of this coin hasn't changed much since it was first introduced. On the front, or obverse side, you'll find the iconic portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. Jefferson has been on the nickel for over 80 years now, a figure who represents the early ideals of American democracy. Alongside his likeness, the words, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty," are prominently displayed, along with the year 1994 stamped on the bottom. This gives us the first clue: we're looking at a coin that's over 25 years old. Flip the coin over, and you'll see the reverse side, which features the image of Monticello, Jefferson's home in Virginia. Monticello is a symbol not only of Jefferson's legacy but also of the nation's early days. It's a building rich in history, and this reverse design has been used on the nickel since 1938. For decades, this design has connected collectors to the founding stories of the United States. At first glance, the 1994 5-cent coin might not appear extraordinary. However, don't let its appearance fool you. There are specific factors that can greatly affect its value, and some of these factors could make your 1994 nickel worth much more than you think. These factors include the coin's mint mark, condition, and potential errors that occurred during the minting process. When it comes to mint marks, the 1994 nickel was produced in two primary locations, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. The mint mark will be located on the obverse, right below the year. If you have a coin with the P mint mark, it was minted in Philadelphia, while a D mint mark signifies it was produced in Denver. Generally speaking, coins from the Philadelphia Mint tend to be a little rarer, since the minting quantities from Denver tend to be higher. That said, both mint marks are relatively common when it comes to this specific year, but what really makes this coin stand out in terms of value is the condition it's in. Coin collectors know that the condition of a coin plays a major role in determining its value. A nickel that has been well preserved with little to no wear or discoloration can be worth significantly more than one that has been used in daily circulation. In fact, the value can increase exponentially if the coin has been stored properly in pristine condition, making it much more appealing to collectors who are willing to pay a premium for such specimens. Now, let's talk about the most exciting factor: minting errors. Minting errors are some of the most sought-after items in the coin collecting world, and they can make a massive difference in the value of a coin. While the 1994 nickel is generally common, a nickel with a rare minting error could skyrocket in value. Some of the most valuable coins in history were once thought to be nothing more than mistakes, but in the world of coin collecting, those mistakes are often considered hidden treasures. Minting errors like double strikes, misalignments, or missing details can make a coin one of a kind, and the rarer the error, the higher the value. The 1994 nickel is not only popular because of its historical significance but also because it has the potential to be one of the most valuable coins from the 1990s. Collectors know that finding a rare, well-preserved coin from this era can be a jackpot. If you have a 1994 nickel in excellent condition, especially one with a minting error, you could be looking at a significant windfall. So, here's the big question: what's the potential worth of a 1994 5-cent coin? You might be sitting on a coin that could fetch a staggering $50,000. Yes, you heard it right, $50,000 for a 1994 nickel, but only if it's in uncirculated, pristine condition or features a rare minting error that collectors are eager to find. Imagine walking into a coin shop or auction with a 1994 nickel and walking out with a substantial amount of cash in your pocket. While not every 1994 nickel will be worth this much, the ones that are in mint condition or have those rare, one-of-a-kind errors can certainly fetch impressive prices. Now, you might be wondering, how do you know if your nickel is worth this kind of money? The best way to find out is by getting it professionally graded by a trusted numismatic grading service. Grading services will evaluate the coin's condition, rarity, and authenticity, and they can give you a precise value based on current market conditions. Once your coin is graded, you'll have a much clearer picture of its value. So, if you have a 1994 nickel lying around, it's time to take a closer look. Don't just assume it's worth 5 cents, take a moment to inspect it. Look for any mint marks, signs of wear, or, if you're really lucky, a minting error that could make it a hidden gem. You could be holding onto a coin that might just be worth a small fortune. Today, we have an exciting topic that could change the way you look at your pocket change forever. We're diving into the world of a specific coin from 1999, the United States 5-cent coin, also known as the nickel. This is a coin you may have casually tossed into a jar or simply forgotten about, but little did you know, your 1999 nickel might just be worth a lot more than you think. So, let's explore why the 1999 5-cent coin has caught the attention of collectors around the world, and how it could be worth $47,000 if you have the right one. Yes, you heard that correctly, $47,000 for a single nickel. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's break it down and see why this coin is so valuable. The 1999 5-cent nickel features the classic design that many collectors recognize. On the obverse side, you'll find the iconic portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. This image has been on the nickel since 1938 and is widely recognized as a symbol of the country's early democratic ideals. Below Jefferson's portrait, you'll find the inscription Liberty, along with the phrase, "In God We Trust," and the year 1999. On the reverse side, the coin features an image of Monticello, the home of Thomas Jefferson, which has been on the nickel since 1938 as well. Monticello is an important symbol of the nation's history, and its detailed depiction on the coin is an essential part of the nickel's design. This design has been around for over 80 years, making it one of the most iconic images on any piece of American currency. However, despite the coin's familiar design, the 1999 5-cent piece is not as common as you might think. While there were millions minted that year, the value of the 1999 nickel has skyrocketed due to specific circumstances that make it highly desirable among collectors. The rarity of the 1999 nickel lies in its condition and the presence of minting errors that have occurred throughout the years. Let's look at these factors a bit more closely. First, let's talk about the mint marks. The 1999 nickel was produced in two primary locations, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. Coins from these two mints will be marked with either a P or a D mint mark, which can be found on the obverse side of the coin. These marks help identify the coin's origin, and depending on the minting numbers and rarity, a coin from a particular mint could have a higher value. However, the mint mark itself isn't the only factor that determines the value of the 1999 nickel. Condition plays a significant role when it comes to rare coin values. As with any collectible, the better the condition, the higher the price it can fetch. A 1999 nickel in mint condition, meaning it hasn't been circulated much and shows no signs of wear or damage, is considered highly valuable. Coins that are in excellent condition and are free from scratches, discoloration, or dings can be worth much more than those that have been in circulation for years. If you happen to have a 1999 nickel that looks brand new, you may want to consider having it professionally graded to determine its worth, but there's more to it. As with many valuable coins, one of the key factors that can increase the value of a 1999 5-cent piece is the presence of minting errors. Minting errors are incredibly rare and happen when something goes wrong during the coin's production. These errors might include double strikes, off-center strikes, or incorrect edge designs. What makes these errors so special is that they are one-of-a-kind pieces that can never be reproduced. Coin collectors are constantly on the lookout for these rare errors, and a minting error on a 1999 nickel can cause its value to skyrocket. For example, a 1999 nickel with a double die obverse, where the image of Jefferson appears slightly doubled due to a mistake during the striking process, can be worth a significant amount of money. Such errors are incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors, making them a precious commodity in the world of numismatics. If you're lucky enough to find a 1999 nickel with one of these minting errors, you could be holding onto a hidden treasure that could fetch thousands of dollars at auction. So, now that we've covered the key factors that can influence the value of the 1999 5-cent coin, let's answer the burning question: just how much can your 1999 nickel be worth? Well, if you have a well-preserved 1999 nickel in excellent condition, or even better, one with a rare minting error, it could be worth $47,000, that's right, $47,000 for a single nickel. While not every 1999 5-cent coin will be worth this much, those that are in near-perfect condition or feature rare minting errors can command incredible prices. It's not often that a coin as common as the nickel can fetch such a high price, but this is a prime example of how the world of coin collecting can turn everyday change into an investment opportunity. If you think you might have a 1999 nickel worth this much, it's definitely worth having it professionally graded. A certified coin grader will assess the coin's condition, identify any minting errors, and provide you with a clear value based on current market conditions. You never know, your spare change might just be a small fortune waiting to be discovered. In conclusion, the 1999 United States 5-cent coin is a valuable piece of American history that could be worth a lot more than you might expect. Whether it's in mint condition or features a rare minting error, this nickel could be worth $47,000. So, next time you come across a 1999 nickel, take a closer look. It might just be the treasure you've been waiting for. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on the latest discoveries. Happy coin hunting, and who knows? Your next big find could be right in your pocket.